So before we start the video, I'd like to ask you guys to please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video, as it helps the channel grow. So, let's get into it. Alright, welcome back to Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2. It's been a minute since I've uploaded this game, and part of the reason is I haven't had time to upload this game. So, there's a catch to this video. This is a voiceover, and it's not necessarily the live commentary you're used to when I record these types of videos. That, in turn, is the reason why I've been extremely busy as of recently, so I haven't been able to sit down and do a live commentary of this game, or any other game for that matter. So it's been a lot of voiceovers just because I've been busy, but rest assured, once I get time on my hands, I'm going to be doing a lot more live commentaries. I'll get back to the style that made my channel the way it is, but for now, we're just going to have to settle with voiceovers. So, how am I going to structure this video? I don't know, but I have quite the idea. I figured I was just going to talk over, certain points of the video and, update you guys on the status of the game and, where we're at this point in time. Now, where I am right now, I remember in the last video we left off in, we were just approaching Lars Hellstrom's office. The part you guys left off on was, when I was in the giant, AC fan, and there were 1,000 enemies chasing me. But I moved on from that part. I did a little bit of stuff off camera, and I wanted to, get the story on without having all the useless, sitting and waiting in corners and all that. Like exactly what I'm doing now. But, this mission was very, very fun. I had a blast playing it. It was very unique, especially the end of the video. So you guys will see what I'm talking about. So let me update you guys on, what happened in this video, and I'll, speak over what I'm doing right now. Right now, I was just looking for some cameras, finding a way to get to Hellstrom's office easily. As you can see, there's a heavy there. There's a lot of enemy presence in this, large compound that they had. This is called the Citadel, and this is where all the enemies' operations, media, controlling the internet servers, blacking out, Western media and all this stuff. This is where all the operations happen right now. And as you see, I'm getting ready to shoot him with the poison arrow, or maybe not. Yeah, he was... Again, this game takes a lot of patience. You can't just go in guns blazing, or else you're gonna get killed. This was a really cool segment, especially when I came into this little area. As you see, I'm pausing right there for reasons unknown, but I think I was pausing for a reason. I think I stopped for a minute, but this part was really, really fun, just of all the different approaches you could take to get your query or your target. The way I did it was I went through one of these little holes right here, and I think I shot him through shot one of the guards through one of these holes. There's one.
I wonder if anyone could reach it, let alone get to the mainframe. No, Nakamura wouldn't let anyone near.
Well, that turned out to be untrue. So he's right there, and he almost saw me right there. There's a lot of different approaches you can take to getting this guy. I took the simple approach, getting the poison arrow, and just shooting him in the head with it, and making him suffocate on his own blood. Now, I was kind of hesitant to do so because I didn't know if he could see me, and I didn't know if anybody was going to be walking in either. And I think one of these guards, as you can see, was just starting to walk into the main compound, or the main office of the compound. Or maybe not. It's been a while since I've recorded this video, and again, I paused for no specific reason. Don't mind me with my consistent pausing. I'm not doing it on purpose. I'm just trying to, figure out a way to approach this. A lot of times when I pause, I try to think of a strategy. This is just one of those times. So, go ahead. You can go under the floorboards, which is another option I took. I think I shot him through the feet, too. Under the floorboards. I didn't even know you could do that. want to get close enough to where I could do enough damage. Boom. Gone. That was Lars Hellstrom.
Control. Primary target is down.
Do you have his keycard?
Gosh, I love this game. That is just one of the many ways you can take to get in this guy.
Keycard acquired.
Excellent. Now make your way to the mainframe. Use the elevator and go to B4.
So that's good. So he's finally gone. This quest took an absurdly long time to do. I'm gonna hide his body in here just so nobody else can find it. But now it took me a few minutes to search for the actual mainframe of, this place. It took me a minute. I didn't expect it to take me this long. But traversing through this place is like traversing through a maze. As you can see, I go into the map just looking, for an objective or just something to give me a hint to where the mainframe could be. But then I realized it was on the lift to the elevator. So that was a shock to my system. I do a lot of searching for things too. There was a collectible down here, but I couldn't find it, so I just moved on at that point. Don't want to go down there. So the mainframe, getting into the mainframe was a very interesting dilemma in itself. It was a very well-designed area and a well-designed level where you could actually hide underneath, like I said, hide underneath the floorboards. And eventually, for the last boss fight of, this particular mission, it was definitely needed. You definitely had to hide under the floorboards as enemies would come swarming at you in the mainframe, and you'll see that towards the end of the video. Still debating whether I want to cut some of this part of the video out. If I do, I'll let you guys will see the cut for yourselves. If not, then I'll just continue talking. Initially, I thought the mainframe was in here because why wouldn't I? Because Lars Hellstrom was very protective of his system and mainframe. But that was not the case. So I did a mad dash trying to search for this place and search for this collectible as well. But at some point in time, I just decided, you know what? It's time to move on. This is taking too long. I gotta go. As you can see, another guard here. Boom. If you're ever playing this game, make sure you get poison arrows. They are very, very useful when you don't want to carry a silenced gun, but you want to be really, really stealthy. You get three types of arrows. You get the regular, the poison, and the explosive arrows. I don't really use the explosive arrows, but the poison arrows have to be the best type of arrows in this game, as it's a quiet way to take out your enemies. Now, of course, that doesn't work. Each enemy has their own type of loadout, so it doesn't work particularly with guys that have gas mask on, or, particularly guys with the gas mask. So you have to be careful with that. Another thing is you can't just shoot guys in the head with arrows either if they have a helmet on, or you're gonna have to find an opening in their helmet, or they're gonna have to not be wearing the helmet at all. And that adds to the difficulty of things. So you really have to decide what enemies you want to go after and what enemies you can just let go, as killing everybody will prove more difficult than anything, as if one person sees the body, the whole group of enemies gets alerted, as you guys have seen before in these videos. When that happens, they'll send a sweep team, which is usually comprised of 2 or 3 guys, and let's just say it's very difficult to get away, especially when there are guys sweeping the area for you. Again, more useless searching. And I'd even recognize the journal sitting right there on the desk. Looking back at the footage now, I definitely missed that. And that was a collectible, I think. So yeah, it's just me doing a lot of useless searching for a random collectible. Again, like I said, I'll try to get them as much as I can. If not, I'll just move on. The real fun doesn't start until you get down into the mainframe. Once you go down the elevator, the real fun starts there. And that was a whole nother task in on itself. There's the heavy over there. I thought that was a passageway right there, but I was mistaken. I figured I could just sneak past the heavy and he wouldn't see me. Apparently that wasn't the case, because there was another guy standing right there. And they do have good vision on here, and they will see you from across the way, especially if you stand up like I'm doing. Again, take enemies out, and if you're playing this game, it's definitely a classic game to play, and it's definitely fun. It gives you a different feel to a stealth type game. You got to be really tactical with all your decisions, or else you will die in here. Try not to get into too many firefights, as you can see right there. I caught my opponent slipping. But as I've said before, as you can see at the bottom left hand of your screen, there's a red dot flashing. That means somebody saw the body, saw me shoot him, and now there are guys alerted. Now luckily, that turned out not to be a big issue. As there wasn't a lot of enemies in that area to begin with. Just creeping along. So right now I was trying to find a way to get to the mainframe. And just trying to lose the heat as well. As you can see, the enemies are probably right beneath my feet right now. I'm telling you, that last boss fight, it definitely forces you to use all weapons and all tactics in your disposal. So I want to check the CCTV just to make sure if there are any extra enemies lingering about. As you can see, there are none, so we're moving on. Again, retracing your steps is a big thing in this game. You're never going to find since they don't lay out everything to you. It's a very broad spectrum. So I finally came to the realization that, oh my god, it's the lift I have to go to. It's the actual lift. I forgot there was a B2 on the actual lift, and that would take you down to the central mainframe. Again, I forgot this was a Citadel hub. So of course, all the controls and all the the inner workings of this place wouldn't be in one spot or just loaded on one computer. Of course not. It's going to be in a big server room with all these different types of doohickeys and whatnot. Big servers, a lot of cable connections, and one big office in the middle that's controlling it all. Basically the brain of this place. Now falling means certain death. I just wanted to make sure that nobody was watching or nobody was lingering around, since there are enemies that you may not be able to mark. So, while you guys were doing that, I moved on. So I took the long traversal down, and I don't think I showed it either. So I went ahead and took the long traversal down as we're trying to get to that lift over there. Now here was an interesting moment I got into, especially in an interesting engagement. As you guys can see, we have two enemies here, one heavy and one normal soldier. But I think there's a third one hiding somewhere as well. My initial plan of attack was to go up that ladder. And I ended up going up the ladder as well. And because there was an enemy sitting right in that this little cooling rig or whatever, I figured I'd get him first. So that's exactly what I did. Don't think anybody saw or heard that, so that was a good thing as well. Again, I was worried that he might have retraced his steps and came back after I killed those guys over there. Figured I'd get him first, since he's probably most likely the one to make his roundabout. Just to be on the safe side, I'd want to dump the body somewhere where I know, that they wouldn't see it immediately. So now we're moving on to the hallway. Now here's an interesting segment. You can crawl in those little, cement blocks or whatever they are, like makeshift ventilation shafts that aren't being used. You can crawl into those. So that was my plan of attack, to go into one of these and shoot one of the enemy from here. Obviously I went for the heavy first, since he was the immediate threat that we need to deal with. But in terms of doing that, I immediately got myself seen.
HQ, we have eyes on Tango. Clear. Victor 3 to base. We
Boom.
have enemy contact. Over. Roger.
And that deals with him.
Out.
My train of thought right here was, there are more enemies coming. Let me grab a different weapon that will have more ammo. But I did not realize that I had a secondary and then a secondary to that secondary. So if I managed to take the shotgun, yes, I took the shotgun, but the catch was I was going to lose the bow and arrow. And I didn't realize that until I started switching through my weapons. Then I realized enemies don't really come through this area. That's when I realized that my bow is still back there and I can't proceed without having my bow, as I will need it in the upcoming level. Initial panic set in when I didn't see it right away. Sorry for that little sound you guys just heard. That's probably me. Probably an editing error, so don't worry about that. Still couldn't get my bow at this point. Finally, there we go. It's just a wonder how you can look back at the footage and just scream at yourself. Looking at the footage, while you're looking at the footage, scream at yourself about stuff you missed, about stuff you're doing. It's much different when you're actually playing the game, though. So we're still traversing our way to the lift. Immediately I realized I couldn't go this way. So I bunkered down and, you know, I figured there was another way you could go. Right through these pipes right here. And we're now on ground level. Of course, you gotta scan the area for more enemies. And what do you know? Right next to the lift. I'm telling you, it was a hard challenge to try to get to this lift. And how nobody heard that was very surprising to me. You'd think a group of soldiers would check that out since they know an enemy is in here. But that was not the case. So, as you can see, B4 mainframe is where we need to go. And I will shut up now as I think more dialogue is getting ready to happen.
Control, this is Raven. I have eyes on the mainframe. Control, this is Raven. I've reached the mainframe room.
Tread carefully.
Wilco.
Can you see the access terminal?
Not sure. Wait.
Packed with enemies. We are now in the B4 mainframe room, which means this will be the final segment of the video, but probably the longest segment of the video since it takes a minute to traverse this place. I didn't necessarily have a problem with clearing out the enemies on the ground level. However, it was the enemies near the terminal that was the issue. They weren't sporadically spaced out, so it was bound. One of them was bound to see me or see a dead body and, you know, immediately panic. That's where the floorboards come in. And you'll see that in a minute. First plan of action was to catch any stragglers sitting on the outside, such as him. As he had no gas mask on, this was an easy decision. Make sure nobody saw it. Traverse on. You gotta be really careful in these server rooms. There could be enemies right around any corner, and if you haven't tagged them, they'll be right there. So I decided to just dump the body where people wouldn't see it immediately. My next course of action: down into the floorboards, as it will lower the chance of me being seen. This was definitely a useful weapon. I can't believe I'm saying this, but the floorboards were going under the floor was definitely a useful weapon in the last boss fight I had, as it gave me places to hide and pop out and you know, eliminate enemies sporadically where they wouldn't pin me in one position. As if I stayed up top ground and just tried to run around, I probably would have died a couple times. I think I did die one time on this level. So right now we're traversing, trying to find our way to the access terminal. You can shoot through that, by the way. As long as their enemies aren't on alert, they won't search for you down here. So we're coming up. And I'm going to pause. And I'm going to cut the video. Now, I don't know why I paused right here, but I think I was doing something at the minute. At the second that I paused. So, you know what? I just went ahead and cut the video there. Again, thinking about how I'm going to traverse this. And there we go. So I've been basically talking for 30 minutes straight at this point. So I'm going to let you guys enjoy the gameplay for a little bit. Mistake number 1. Immediately after I fired that arrow, somebody heard it, somebody saw it, and enemies are now on alert. Luckily, hiding under the floors seemed to get rid of them very quickly, particularly quickly. Again, this game takes a lot of patience, so you can't just go Ramboing everything. At that point, I thought somebody had saw me under here, but apparently not.
We have enemy contact. Over.
Now, my mindset is thinking somebody saw me.
Stay in calm. Out.
Somebody saw me. It's time to bust some heads. Luckily, staying in one spot as well definitely helps as well. That's a bit weird. Staying in one spot definitely reduces the level of heat that you have right now. Switching to a different ammo. I like this shotgun. It's just, it's not enough ammo at times. It definitely does a lot of damage, especially with a well-placed shot. But it's only 2 bullets at a time. And when you're in a firefight, you gotta have more than 2 bullets at a time. So what I was thinking is, I was gonna go back to my silence rifle that I had at the beginning of the series. Just so when I do get in firefights, I won't be completely exposed trying to switch through different weapons, or at worst case scenario, I'm using my sniper rifle to fight off enemies, which I did in the end of the video. So I'm gonna shut up again and let you guys enjoy the gameplay. Enemies have stopped being alerted. So now I think we have free range to move. They will return to their normal positions, and now we can resume with our mission. Got to poison arrows. Quickly dart around that corner. Nobody saw me. Quietly back up the stairs. Let's keep going. So, the access terminal. As soon as you turn this access terminal, the room will flood with enemies. So, if you're playing and you're on this specific part, which is very early in the game, be ready. Be ready to think fast and on your feet, as not too light on my feet right there. That was definitely a frustrating moment. I wish you could shoot guys through that window, but you know, can't get everything we want. They give you poison arrows, you can't really shoot the windows like that. I'm just gonna wait here for a minute. Alright, we're progressing again. Every time we get close to this terminal, we have a bit of a miscue. I can tell why he saw the body, because it was sitting right there, and he was standing right by the window. So I could have avoided that by just being patient. So I knew this guy was going to walk right next to the window again, so I got to make sure I stay out of sight. Once the opportunity is given to me, I'll strike. For now, let's just be patient. Don't know if you guys have noticed, but there's a guy up top too. Just be aware of that. Alright, so now I'm trying to make my move. Because I know he's going to walk over to the window again. Don't know why I switched to a regular arrow here.
Raven,
But I figured,
have you
why
located
waste
the
it?
access terminal?
Raj.
Then let's get this done.
Now, that was weird sound glitch. But you heard that? You could shoot through a window, but it has to be with regular arrows. I heard the window break. I love the little dialogue the soldiers have every now and then. It livens up the game a little bit. Even though it can become incredibly repetitive at times. Now this was the kicker right here. So there's a guy up top, but there's this guy sitting right in this very, very open section with the gas mask on. And with a helmet on, so I can't necessarily shoot him with a regular arrow or shoot him with a poison arrow. And you'll see what I had to resort to be able to get this guy, but now we have the task with dealing with the guy up top. And he's in the weirdest place possible as well. apparently you won't be laughing much longer. I need to get this guy up top. I got impatient. I gotta get up top. Alright, so getting up top definitely is the best move here. As you can see, this guy right here is about to go bye-bye. There we go. Look around, check the area. Now, this guy was a problem. And I think in a few minutes I was going to cut the video. I cut the video because I had messed up and I fell off the thing. Or I'd shot an explosive arrow at him and it alerted the entire compound of my presence. And then I had to go into another waiting period, and I just didn't want to let you guys sit through all that. So, yeah, I cut the video, and you'll see it in just a few minutes. There it is. And there you go. Video has been cut. Now we are back where we started because I had to wait for the alarm to go off. So now we're trying to make our way. Now we're on the final stages of this mission. We're trying to make our way to the terminal so we can shut down this place and get out of here. But as you're about to see, that did not go as expected. Now, of course, I didn't want to make this too difficult, so I wanted to clear out a lot more enemies than I had to. I realized I wasted a lot of time right here as well. But it is what it is at that point. I just wanted to make sure there were no more enemies lurking about. As you can see, there's one below me. But he didn't really pose an immediate threat like that either, so I think I let him go. Big mistake, as it would prove to, be a lot more enemies than originally anticipated. I wanted to shoot him in his head with an arrow. But I figured, why not just go into the facility? I even tried luring him away from that spot as well, but he wouldn't budge. So why not go into the terminal and shut it down? But as you're about to see, things took a horrible left turn.
Time to introduce the virus.
Doing it now. Okay, that's not
Definitely.
Raven, give me a sit rep.
good. The system is down, but I've triggered some kind of alarm. The facility has gone into lockdown. Control, I'm locked in and tangos are flooding the room. I need options.
Wait. Over.
Come on, it's getting hot in here.
It's not getting hot in here.
The
It's
security chief, Nakamura, can reset the alarms. Get her keycard.
How do I find her?
Scan the hostiles. She must be out there.
Copy that. I'll locate
well,
her.
it's not getting hot. It's burning.
He won't go anywhere.
So as soon as the real fire fight starts, the craziness starts, I'll shut up and let you guys watch the video.
Stop hiding. Face me, coward.
This was a very long sequence. A very long sequence. I tried to wait them out. That wasn't gonna happen.
Gets out of my way.
And since that wasn't going to happen, it was time to improvise. So losing the floorboards here, you have to. Essentially, in this mission, I think it's almost imperative that you use hiding under the floor as an option, as there are a lot of enemies here, and they'll surround you and kill you if you're not careful. They also throw grenades down these holes, so be wary of that. Trying not to get into a conflict unless I absolutely need to. And I'll switch to a poison arrow here. And there we go. That basically kickstarts everything.
It's Nakamura. Looks like someone uploaded a virus. It doesn't look good. It's unstoppable.
Juliet 1-2 to HQ. We have his location. Clear. HQ, this is India Hotel. Engaging hostile. Clear. Victor 3 to base. We have enemy contact. Over.
There we go.
Base, we have eyes on hostile. Ready to engage. Over.
Let's talk.
And here we go. I think the firefight has started.
We have eyes on Tango. Clear.
So I'll shut up and let you guys watch this.
Fire at sight. Out.
Let no one escape. Stop hiding. Face me.
Hits the neck!
Do not let him get away.
Did he even see me?
I won't hurt you if you come out. I think we got off.
Lima 1-4. Code red. Code red. Shots fired. Clear.
Snuck up right behind him.
Killing Lars won't change anything. Our cause is strong. We will prevail.
Position compromised! Taking cover!
Where is he?
I see the enemy!
Don't tell me.
I see the enemy!
Come out.
We got a dead fucking soldier here!
Oh, come on, that shot was dope.
Surround him.
That shot was amazing. That was a good shot. I need it. That's one of those moments that I'm gonna benchmark forever, and I'm gonna remember forever. Is that shot right there?
Stop hiding.
Perfect, right on the head too.
Face me, coward.
Throwing grenade!
There goes those grenades I was talking about.
Someone. Do better.
Taking cover!
Get him. Show mercy.
That's Nakamura. You need her key card to lift the lockdown.
Nakamura's down.
Looks like that was easier than expected.
Get a card.
She walked straight into a trap. Now all we need to do is clear out the rest of the room of the grunts, and we'll get her key card and get out of here. Got one. Even though I took a lot of damage, I got one. Now we need to get the other one. Got another one. That was a good shot. Got him too. That takes care of all the immediate threats. Now I just gotta hunt down the rest of them. There we go. I had to do a quick little maneuver, a flanking maneuver, to get my rifle back out. Playing a little groundhog thing right here. Don't know how I shot him through the server. Or through the little server room right there, but I don't know. I don't know how I shot him through there, but it worked in my favor, so who cares?
Shots fired, clear?
Last guy.
Copy. Initiating recon procedure. Fire at will. Out.
Boom. There it is. And that is all the enemies. We're going to get a key card, shut down this terminal, and get out of
I
here.
have Nakamura's keycard.
You can bypass their lockdown security now. The lift should be working once you do.
Let's see. Raven out.
So let's get to that terminal, shut down this little lockdown they have, and let's get out of here. Get to the exfil point, and then I'll do the outro, and then you guys can go on about your day. And we can get up out of here, and I can figure out when I'm going to do another one of these. So that was a very interesting mission, to say the least. Go ahead and disable
All right,
that.
it's done. The lockdown has been
And
lifted.
we are good. We're out of here.
Time to exfil. Fast. Perfect. Now the only thing left to do is exfiltrate.
And I took that to heart. Let's go. Cleared the whole room of enemies. In a very unique fashion as well. Now the biggest challenge, or one of the biggest challenges, was finding the exfil point where I could get up out of here. It took me like 10 minutes to find the exfil point. So definitely not one of my best videos, but you know, it is what it is. It's all the time I had available, and I felt like I could just do a voiceover. The exfil point is on top of the roof, so it took me a minute to find that. We're gonna get on the lift. I'm gonna stop at a couple floors, and then we'll get up to the roof. So this was a very interesting mission. I had everything: good stealth, good action. The level was really well designed. In fact, this might have been one of my favorite levels so far playing this game. I just felt like everything was so well designed. I like playing in like server rooms or like congested spaces where you don't have a lot of space, so it forces you to a lot of space you can hide in, or not a lot of corners, or not a lot of things you can hide behind. So it forces you to think on your feet, think creatively, and not just go in guns blazing like most people would. So this was definitely a very interesting mission. We'll see where we go from here, as I did finish the region, and we're going to be moving on to the second part of the story. Of course, we have a long way to go, and considering me, I don't always get the chance to make a video, so it might go on for a little bit longer. But, you know, this game is definitely fun. I haven't played in a while. I'm thinking of recording a live video next. The next time you see one of these videos will probably be a live commentary. But this is just all the time I had for now. So I just figured, you know what, why not put something up instead of, you know, holding people in suspense? Why not just voice over the video and, you know, get that over with so we can get back to our live commentary when I get the chance to. So we're stopping at B1 right now. This is not where the exfiltrate point is. Don't know why I was acting like such a clown right here. I was very confused. I even thought about fast traveling. But, you know, you can't fast travel while enemies are nearby. And then I finally realized that the thing is actually on the roof. So we need to get up on the roof and, you know, get out of here. So heading up to B0. This will be the exit point of the video. So this is definitely, I'll be looking for, definitely be looking out for more of these videos. I do have another series, or I wouldn't say another new series, but another improvised series that I have coming. And it will be very exciting once I get the chance to, you know, actually sit down and play with it a little while. We're still going to have the Undisputed videos going up every now and then. Skyrim videos will be coming back. And that was aforementioned the new series I was talking about. I'll see what else I can get you know, through here. I also have a few other things that I can upload here and there. But yeah, this is pretty much the end of the video. So if you guys enjoyed it, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the videos. Helps the channel grow. Hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I drop one of these Sniper Ghost Warrior videos. As always, I'm out. Peace.